Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another of your spooky sessions with me, your host, Hedda Gold. Now, tonight we're going to dive straight into it. I do apologise for not being around last night, but, I hadn't had the best of days and had a pretty bad headache, so I had to go to bed early. But never mind, I'm back now. So I'm just going to ask all of you if you are going to be sitting comfortably. Tonight I'm going to be reading you about curses, and tonight I'm going to be telling you about Tecumseh's curse and the American presidents. And then I'm going to follow on with episode 4 of I Was a Priest at the Vatican and We Summoned a Demon. So, like I said, I'm going to jump straight into it. And without further ado, please sit back, relax, and enjoy your first short reading, and that's about curses and affecting your, American presidents. And I hope you like what I've got to tell you. Thank you. The curse of Tippecanoe, or Tecumseh's curse, is a widely spread explanation for why, from 1840 to 1960, every US president elected or re-elected every 20th year has died in office. Rumour has it that Native American leader Tecumseh administered the curse when William Henry Harrison's troops defeated his forces at the Battle of Tippecanoe. Well, William Henry Harrison was elected president in 1840. He caught a cold during his inauguration, which quickly turned into pneumonia. He died on April 4th, 1841, after only 1 month in office. Then we have Abraham Lincoln, who was elected president in 1860 and re-elected 4 years later. Lincoln was shot on April 14th, 1865, and died the next day. Then we have James Garfield, who was elected president in 1880. Charles Guiteau shot him in July 1881. Garfield died several months later from complications following the gunshot wound. William McKinley was elected president in 1896 and re-elected in 1900. On September 6, 1901, McKinley was shot by Leon F. Zolgos, I think that's how you pronounce it, who was considered the president an enemy of the people. McKinley died 8 days later. 3 years after that, Warren G. Harding was elected president in 1920. He died suddenly of either a heart attack or a stroke while travelling in San Francisco. Franklin D. Roosevelt was elected president in 1932 and re-elected in 1936, 1940 and 1944. Although his health wasn't great overall, he died rather suddenly in 1945 of a cerebral hemorrhage or a stroke. John F. Kennedy. He was elected president in 1960 and was assassinated in Dallas, Texas in November 22nd, 1963. And finally, Ronald Reagan was elected president in 1980, and though he was shot by an assassin in 1981, he did survive. Some say this broke the curse. George W. Bush, who was elected in 2000, escaped and went on to serve for a second term in office. So that's a little bit about Tecumseh's curse and the American presidents. So we're now going to go on to your weekly serial. Now, where did we leave it last week? Well, Sarah found out that she'd actually only been in hell for 36 human Earth years. To her, it felt like centuries. And she felt that, Asmodai and Esmeralda and all the others had just, well, Belial particularly, all of them had lied to her. That's how she felt. And she basically went berserk. And she took Sister Fatima Ghazawi hostage and basically flew the coop, so to speak. And, as Father Charpentier said at the end, may God forgive us for our arrogance. So I shall pick up from where we left off last week with Father Edward Thomas, the narrator. And of course this story is by the talented author Cythero. So again, I hope you're still sitting comfortably while I read you your continuing saga of I was a priest in the Vatican and we summoned a demon. Shall I continue? Father Hammond closes the door to the hidden prison as I examine Bishop Ricci to determine if he is still alive. I curse myself under my breath. I should never have been a party to this madness. At this moment, a demoness with abilities I can only imagine is now running wild across the Vatican. Worse yet, we have none to blame but ourselves. I stand back as a pair of paramedics rush Bishop Ricci onto a stretcher, though I am unsure if they can do anything for him. Father Charpentier informs them that the bishop suffered a nasty fall, and for the time being, they don't ask for clarification. Resting against the now sealed door of the prison level, I do my best to take stock of the situation. We left no one down there, did we? Father Hammond asked me. No, Father, I say as I shake my head. The only ones down there are the prisoners. As I say this, I'm filled with doubt. However, as I can overhear the sounds of something scratching at a sealed door. Then what is that? Father Hammond asks. I spring myself away from the door and face it. Father Charpentier, Hammond and I ready our crosses and holy water. Behind the door, I can make out a voice and further scratching until there is a clicking noise, and it creaks open. I pick up a Latino accent in what sounds, at first, like English, but his words seem to shift and change as he talks. Regardless, I have no issues understanding any one phrase, but as odd as this sounds, I cannot place what language he is speaking in. Well, that wasn't easier to pick than I thought. The door opens and I identify a middle-aged man of Latino descent. He's wearing a button-down shirt and jeans and a pair of boots. The most noticeable items on him is a necklace with a strange stone in the middle and what looks like 3 round bottles strapped to his side. Who in the name of God are you? Father Hammond asks. The man before us looks to each of us in a state of bewilderment, before cracking a jovial smile and waving to each of us. Oh, hello, fathers. Again, I can't place what language he's using. I ask now, who are you? How did you get down there? He appears as if we're keeping him from something, motioning to head down the stairs as he speaks with us. Oh, my name is Jorge Chavez. I know this will sound funny, but where are we right now? Father Charpentier responds, La Cité du Vatican. Jorge nods and makes a sign of the cross over himself. I didn't mean to intrude then, But that makes little sense. We were chasing a demon. We? I interject. From the steps below, abrupt heavy footsteps echo from the stairs at an inhuman pace. I listen as each footfall grows louder and angrier. Before I can say much else, a man standing 6'3" with black short hair and striking blue eyes is standing in the doorway. He wears a black trench coat over a simple white cotton shirt. The shirt is form-fitting. His well-toned muscles show he's a physically fit man. A pair of simple pants and black heavy boots are the last normal items on his person. On his side are a row of the rounded bottles on his belt, and on the other side is a large knife with an ornate handle of brass and ivory. His voice strikes me with harsh disapproval. "What have you fools done?" he demands. Father Hammond now moves to shut the door to the office that we were all standing in. "Now listen here, whoever you are." Before Father Hammond can respond, Jorge interjects. This is Saint Timothy Crestfall." Timothy casts a chastising glance at Jorge. "Chavez, we discussed this." Jorge rolls his eyes, turning to Father Charpentier. He's modest. "Saint Timothy?" Father Charpentier asks. Timothy shakes his head, waving his hands exasperated. "Where is it? Are you hiding it? Or are you all compromised?" I gaze towards Timothy and try to think about how to answer and play things coy. "Where is what?" Timothy grows frustrated and grabs me by my robes on either shoulder, lifting me up with ease and forcing my back to the wall. "The amber. The demons call it sanguine amber. Someone used it for something. I need to know what." Pinned to the wall and unable to do much else, I reach into my pocket and show the small $half-sized disc I'd grabbed from the prison below. Timothy releases me and plucks the amber from my fingers. "Oh, thank God." Jorge also looks relieved. When we noticed it had power channeling through it, it worried us. Timothy places it into his pocket, calming a smile across his face. Yes, the last time this even crossed into the physical plane, a demon prince tried to pull himself into existence. Timothy looks to each of us with relief washing over his face. "I'm glad we found this before someone used it for some dark purpose." The mood of the room was that of disgrace and silence. Not one of us could speak or admit what we'd been culpable to. I looked to the floor, ashamed. Despite not looking at him, I could tell a grave mood settled over Timothy. "What happened?" The first of us to break our silence was Father Hammond. "The warlock, Imunda, he summoned a demon for us to interrogate." Timothy gazes at me appalled as I nod my head. "We were gaining valuable information until she broke free of our bonds." I soon experience a fist to my gut. Father Hammond and Charpentier are flanking me, trying to defend me. Timothy has moved on onto hitting me with a powerful strike. Timothy clenches his fist. "Was it possession, or did you fools pull him into our world?" Father Charpentier answers in English. "It was a she, a succubus, a follower of Asmodai." I gasp as I regain my breath. "She escaped with Sister Fatima as hostage." Timothy closes his eyes and I swear I catch a faint voice in the back of my mind. Sister Fatima, where are you? I peek around, but I can't place the voice's source. Timothy's eyes bolt open, and he rushes out of the room. Jorge, I, and the other priests are soon in tow, but keeping up with Timothy proves difficult for all of us. Timothy dodges and weaves through halls of people and objects, traversing with an inhuman grace to each step. We all follow him to a massive room with a high ceiling with ornate archways and artwork adorning the walls and ceilings. Timothy is standing in the room's middle as we catch up with him. He glances to us all. She's disguised both herself and Fatima. He pulls a bottle from his pocket and closes his eyes once more. I glance around trying to detect the deception. Someone I haven't seen before, someone I do not know, or I find out of place. Timothy's arm lashes out to a group of nuns and drags a dark-skinned woman from the group. It tilts his bottle over the struggling woman's head, and steam erupts from her brow, and a familiar inhuman scream echoes through the chamber. The nun grabs her face and the cloth that wore her habit wrap around her, turning from black to purple, gaining a leathery texture. The form of the succubus soon bursts from deep behind the wings, Fatima's hands bound by her tail. Will you people leave me? She takes a deep breath, shouting with unholy resonance. Alone! Her voice echoes through the chamber, and I can hear stained glass cracking and shattering in some windows. Everyone inside the chamber panics and rushes to the doors, many injured by the falling glass, some far worse than others. Everyone except Father Charpentier, Father Hammond, myself, Jorge, and Timothy, that is. Timothy stares the woman down, his hand on his Bowie knife. No, he declares. The succubus now rolls her eyes in exasperation. Then let me spell it out for you. I'm not going back. Not now. Not never. I'm free. If you can't leave me the fuck alone, then you will get a free sample of what I'm leaving. And with a deep dive, she spews a black flame at Timothy's feet. The fire rushes up to engulf him, while the rest of us dive to the floor to avoid the flames. I roll onto my back and prop myself up with my arms as I shield my eyes from the black flames. The flames swirl and lift from the ground. They seem to pass over Timothy's head as they land in front of him, black smoke rising from his ruined trench coat. It's not the deflected fire that has my attention, however, nor is it the fearful stare that has crossed the succubus's face upon the flames being blocked by the heavy coat. My attention is on the pair of flawless silvery wings attached to Timothy's back. My mouth is agape as I observe the image before me. An angel. Saint Timothy, that is what Jorge meant when he introduced us. Timothy now brandishes the large blade of his knife. Submit, demon. Are you fucking serious right now? Succubus's wicked voice is a hint of hysteria. What the hell? You guys are all dead. No one down there will stop bragging about it. What hole did you crawl out of? Seems she's stalling. Timothy narrows his eyes. I liked that coat, demon. I will make a new one out of your wings. The succubus looks to our wings and spreads them. Oh yeah? Those? She jumps into the air, our wings hurtling her towards the ceiling. Timothy follows suit, his own wings empowering him upwards. Sister Fatima cries out in fear as it pulls her into the air. "Release the woman!" Timothy shouts, swinging his blade only to have it knocked back by the succubus's hoof. "Sorry, choir boy. She's my snack for the trip." The succubus reaches the ceiling by some unholy power, standing on it as if it were the floor. Her cloven hooves beat down against the ceiling, causing it to crack. "You're lucky, Carola. They'd summon me wearing my armour. I'd rip your damn arms off." Instead, a hoof crashes down against the ceiling again, portions of it falling apart. "I'll just use your own compassion." To my shock and dismay, I spot large chunks of the ceiling rushing down towards my fellow priests. The succubus lets out a vicious chortle as Timothy's flight diverts to the priests and me. Timothy pushes Father Hammond and Father Charpentier out of the way. I feel a wave of relief wash over me until I watch Timothy running towards me. My attention turns upwards just in time to notice a huge slab of the ceiling heading towards me. My eyes shut as I make my peace with God before I catch a crunch, a snap, and a gasp of pain. I notice Timothy's straining face inches in front of mine. Timothy collapses after I crawl out from underneath him, the slab on his back. With a yell to Father Charpentier and Hammond, I get their help. And with the help of Jorge, we pull the broken concrete off Timothy. Timothy's left wing looks to be bent at an odd angle, and his arm appears broken. He wheezes and coughs, though I spot no blood escaping his mouth. Jorge moves to his side and helps Timothy to his feet, acting as Timothy's crutch. "Can you walk?" Timothy nods, but after a step he falters. As I rush to his other side, I catch him, acting as his crutch for his other side, but being careful of his broken wing and arm. I give a grim stare towards Jorge. "Where can we take him?" Jorge grunts. "There's the Temple of the Guardians. We'll heal him there." "Where's the temple?" I ask. Jorge frowns. "It's at the bottom of those stairs." After an arduous journey, Jorge and I got Timothy back down to prison level. The sight before me is shocking. Affixed to one wall, which was bare as a pair of double doors. "That's the entrance to the temple," Jorge grunts. I heave Timothy into the doors, and as I do, I overhear Imunda chortle behind me from his cell. "Oh, papers, do you not know what you will discover? Your hopes, your dreams, they lay broken behind that door." For once, I heed his words. I regard the room we are now standing in, seeing a pair of massive marble statues. They are illuminated with bright spotlights from the floor. Before I can assess the room more, Timothy looks to the doors as they shut behind us. Timothy appraises me. None of you are worthy to enter." And then he fades into unconsciousness. "We have a way to go," Jorge says. He's right. We move to the right of the doors leading us down a series of lengthy staircases and a labyrinth of corridors. After 20 minutes of walking down yet another flight of stairs, I consider my surroundings, noticing that despite the beautiful marble, the angelic and Gothic architecture, there's nothing else here. "Where is everyone?" My voice echoes against the hallways. Jorge stares at me horrified. "Please don't, Father. No one hears you here." His expression is that of disappointment. "At least not anymore." I feel more and more isolated in this strange temple. Where there is no tomb-like air or scent, the atmosphere is empty, and I have the lack of any kind of population. It's very unnerving. Jorge looks to Timothy as he comes back to consciousness again. Almost there, Timothy. We round a corner and I spot a massive fountain. A fountain is an understatement, but no other word fits. Waterfall? The entire wall has crystal clear water streaming down it into a massive basin. There are steps leading into the water, and again it is the clearest water I've ever laid my eyes upon. Jorge lays Timothy down near the basin's edge and gives him a shove. Are you insane? You'll drown, I protest. Moments later, however, a bright shimmering light bursts out from the water's depths. Timothy breaches the water, both wings spread wide and healed. His eyes are an even brighter shade of blue, and he clambers out of the basin, gasping for breath. Chavez, he shouts. Jorge heaves a sigh of relief. Thank you, Jesus. Never do that. Timothy's eyes are glowing, and he grabs his head as if his skull is about to burst open, and his hands are the only things keeping it from doing so. He grunts in pain, water dripping down his body. I avert my eyes, his white shirt translucent and displaying more of his physicality than I am comfortable viewing without my sin tainting the image. I speak to both while looking away. We need to call in reinforcements, as it involves the angels thanks to our foolhardy meddling. Jorge discloses, well, we are the reinforcements. I hear Timothy groaning in pain behind me, hearing him shift and groan. What do you mean? I inquire as I turn to Jorge. Jorge motions to Timothy. You see, Father, this is the last angel on earth. I turn now, the gravity of the statement distracting me from all the other things. What do you mean? Jorge motions around. We're in the realm of the angels, the guardian temple of Enoch. Jorge points to Timothy. That is Timothy of Enoch, great-grandson of Enoch himself. The last words reverberate through the empty halls of the temple and strike my nerves to their core. And he's the last surviving angel in this temple. So, my friends, that is the end of part 4. So, I will read part 5 to you, hopefully again at the appropriate time. So, what did you think of the little bit of difference reading you about the curse? I do want to try and stir things up a little and read you out different things from time to time. I never know quite how long the reading of each episode is going to take. Some weeks it's been a video 45 minutes, other weeks it's been half an hour, other weeks it's been 35 minutes. I can never quite tell, but I don't rush through it. I just try and make sure that the short story I read is, of some interest. And then those of you who don't want to listen to the story don't have to. You can just listen to the first bit, or you can pass over the first bit and then listen to the story. It's entirely up to you what you want to do. But I must admit, I'm looking forward to to next week's episode. I, of course, have read all of this. So, I'm ahead of all of you. I'm afraid I cheated. I read it all. And it's really good. And, there is more to come, and I'm sure that you will enjoy them too. Anyway, what did you think of them? Did you enjoy them? You can please let me know in the comments. And if you want me to go back to finding ghost stories, please let me know. If you want me to read about some other paranormal person, because I'm covered a vampire, I've done the rake, done La Llorona, I haven't done Bigfoot yet, but I don't really know what to say about him, unless you want me to read to you about Bigfoot, but I can do that too. But if there's any other supernatural creature that you would like me to read to you about, just let me know and I will do that for you. I'd just like to add one last thing before I say goodnight to you. Those of you who may know, I have a friend who is suffering from cancer. She's not well. Her name is Lorraine with one R. This is the third lot of cancer in 3 years. And I'm scared I'm going to lose my friend. So, whether you have any faith or none, if you don't believe in prayer, if you wouldn't mind saying, I hope Lorraine can get better, I would really, really appreciate it. Every good intention going her way has got to help. I'm asking everybody to pray for her. Everybody I know. So, I'm asking you all a huge favour. I know it's somebody that you don't know. But, you don't have to if you don't want to. But I just thought I would ask. You know that expression, shy Ben's getting out. Basically it means, well, if you don't ask, you won't get. So, I thought I'd chance my arm and ask you anyway. Right, my friends, I want to say thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for watching and for listening to me read to you. I do hope you enjoyed tonight's offerings. Like I said, I'm sorry it was a day late, but I did have a heavy day yesterday and ended up going to bed early. Really bad headache. But here it is with you. Better late than never. I do hope that you all have the best weekend that you can possibly have, considering what we're having to endure right now. But it's gonna start winding up soon. So like I said, we're just gonna have to take one day at a time. So I do hope you have a good weekend, the best one that you can. And yeah, so, and I was going to say something else to you, but I'm sorry, I've completely forgotten. It's my brain for you, I'm afraid. So, if you would let me know what you thought about the stories in the comments, I'll be really grateful to you. And I will see you all again very, very soon. So, I do love you all. Please stay safe and take care of yourselves and be kind to each other. You know, we've only got one life. Let's live it. The best life we can, eh? Good night, everybody. Good night.